We're here to plunge into fascinating stories and really pull out those crucial nuggets of knowledge for you. Today, we're doing a really unique deep dive. We're focusing on the journey of Triple6 motion. Now, this is someone who didn't just, find a path in a specialized industry. He seems to have genuinely redefined it. We're digging into insights from Triple6 motion for the love of hash, presented by nuggnotes. And our mission really is to understand the mechanics. Like, how does someone build such a powerful, trust-based distribution network? And not just the network, but a dedicated community, too, starting from really unexpected roots and keeping this almost defiant authenticity.
Yeah, what's really fascinating, I think, is how this whole narrative just turns traditional ideas of business growth and marketing on their head, completely challenges them. It gives you these surprising insights into, well, unconventional success. It shows how a grassroots community first thing can sometimes just outperform, the big corporate strategies.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Let's establish Triple6 Motion's origin story. It's really far from your typical business hubs. The source says he quite literally came out the Texas mud, and it mentions 78666 tatted on his story forever. That detail alone kind of sets the stage, doesn't it, for a journey that's not going to be conventional.
Oh, absolutely. It points straight to his foundational trap roots. And what this really tells us, I think, is that his early grind wasn't just like a backstory. It actually forged this unshakable identity, built on hustle and direct face-to-face engagement. The article describes it as packs in the trunk, back roads on fire, and a dream bigger than a zip code. That raw, grounded start gave him this unique understanding of his market and a level of trust, frankly, that traditional businesses rarely get. It laid the groundwork for his constant motion, LATX, NYC, always moving.
Right. So how did those trap roots, how did they specifically shape the values that ended up defining his whole business model down the line? What does that beginning really mean for understanding the ethos of his operation?
Well, that's exactly it, isn't it? Those beginnings weren't just background noise. They fundamentally shaped his core identity, rooted in that relentless hustle, that direct personal connection. It's about how that raw authenticity, built from the ground up, became the bedrock, the foundation for his entire trust-based model. And that's a key differentiator in a world that's often just focused on scaling up fast and impersonally.
Okay, so from those deep roots, how did he start to quietly build his reputation? This is in the years leading up to 2020, before the mainstream really caught on to some of these specific industry terms. The source says he truly built the name quietly, really focusing on curating flavors the streets weren't ready for yet. He was moving things like Zkittlez bags, candy gas, and early solventless heat. And get this stuff moved hand to hand before most even knew what live Rosin meant. Which, for anyone listening who might not know, live Rosin is this premium cannabis concentrate. Super pure, great flavor, made without chemical solvents. That's genuinely amazing foresight, isn't it? What does that tell us about, spotting trends before they hit?
Yeah, a key insight here is precisely that foresight and the grassroots approach. He was basically cultivating a market organically, way ahead of the curve, before widespread awareness.
Right.
And that allowed him to build this really strong reputation based purely on quality and that direct connection. He wasn't just, selling products. He was actively shaping tastes, building credibility for these premium concentrates long before they went commercial. It gave him this undeniable first-mover advantage, rooted in actual street cred.
And that early success, it seems, led straight into a major strategic pivot. Is that right? What actually changed in 2021 that really reshaped his whole operation? We read that he flipped the play, moved away from middlemen, and something described as licensed cap-out. What does that mean exactly?
Basically stepping away from the constraints and compromises of the regulated market, it seems.
Okay, so his new strategy, it was all about establishing direct relationships with farmers, pressers, and hash makers, cutting out those layers of distribution that, often dilute the quality or the authenticity. And with this pivot, new kinds of products started entering his lane, things like Trichadelics.
Right, which refers to that really vibrant, high-quality hash.
Exactly, and Benjamin blinkers.
Which is a sort of an inventive term for specific vape cartridges he was moving.
Yeah, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, this was clearly a very conscious, maybe even daring decision. To seize control, basically. Control of the narrative and foster this unwavering authenticity. By going direct, he wasn't just streamlining his supply chain, he was actively building this cross-country distro web that tapped real smokers first.
Yeah.
It really emphasized quality and that direct connection over the conventional scaling methods, which often get diluted. It's almost, you could say, a rebellious move in an industry that's often chasing that rapid corporate expansion. And it really shows this deep commitment to his craft and his community. So this direct, authentic approach, it also showed up in a pretty unique distribution network, right? Functioning way outside traditional retail.
Yeah.
His private list apparently didn't just grow, it evolved into a whole movement. And it wasn't just online, was it? We hear about physical meetups being absolutely crucial. Things like LA seshes, HTX meetups, Astor Club, NYC pull-ups, real-world connections.
Hmm.
And he was known for bringing very specific, highly sought-after products to these events, like Kapow Berries, Damn It Bobby Feelgood, and West Coast Alchemy jars, and Dank Exotics flour in the trunk. Very curated stuff.
Right, and this raises a really important question, I think, about the power of community
Mhm.
and trust, especially these niche markets. Triple 6 wasn't just, distributing products. He was actively wherever melt culture hit.
Mm-hmm.
And melt culture, just for clarity, is that passionate community built around premium solventless concentrates like ash and rosin. So he was a true culture connector. He was cultivating an experience, a shared space. It wasn't just about the transaction. His physical presence at those meetups really solidified his personal brand just as much as the products themselves did.
Okay, so beyond the physical meetups, he also cultivated this really distinctive online voice, didn't he? Especially on X, formerly Twitter. His voice, the article describes it as expertly blending trap here and hash snobbery, which is quite a combo.
Yeah, it really is.
He'd share content like Hank Hill running no-till
Which
beds,
is a great image, yeah.
a humorous nod to applying traditional farming to cannabis, and those famous tweets like, good melt, good marketing, very direct. And the impact seems immediate. His drops apparently sell out in hours before they even hit public menus.
And what's really remarkable there is how that authentic, personality-driven online presence reinforces his brand so powerfully. It creates this huge demand and loyalty through direct, often funny engagement, not relying on traditional, often impersonal marketing at all. By being relatable, by being transparent, he built this relationship with his audience, and that translates directly into those immediate high-demand sales. It really proves that genuine connection can be, well, more potent than any marketing budget.
So looking forward to, say, 2025, how has 666 Motion evolved? And what's the underlying philosophy as this unique enterprise matures? What started as a trap hustle, the source says, became a curated ecosystem, transforming him into the go-to bridge between boutique hash makers and regions starving for craft melt. He's like a connector.
Exactly. And if we connect that to the bigger picture, his unwavering commitment to pure trust-based distribution is absolutely central to his identity. It's fundamental. He's explicitly not chasing licenses or investors, which, paradoxically gives him immense freedom. This approach lets him focus entirely on plugging single-source jars and hash heads across 3 coasts. Basically, connecting these individual top-tier hash producers directly with enthusiastic consumers. This isn't just like a business model. It's a whole philosophy, a commitment to quality, community, and authenticity above everything else. Hashtag, tag, outro.
So there you have it, the really extraordinary journey of 666 Motion. He's a trapper, a
Yeah.
curator, a culture connector, and what we've pulled from these sources seems clear. He is proof you can take trap roots and build something bigger without selling out.
Hmm.
That's a powerful message, I think. Authenticity, organic growth. It resonates far beyond just his specific industry.
Yeah, definitely. And it leaves you with a question, doesn't it? In a world that's increasingly dominated by, corporate structures and tighter regulations, what can we really learn from a trust-based, community-driven model like 666 Motions? And how might this kind of unconventional path inspire other entrepreneurs or other industries looking for authentic growth and that genuine connection? Even if they operate in totally different fields, it's definitely something to chew on.